Books were the first one to go online. If you think of Amazon, it was the start of their business, and it's still a huge mainstay of their business. And as a consequence, everything has sort of followed in line. I'd say it's one of the most competitive spaces, certainly, that we've come across. That said, it's also it's a business that lends itself to online in a very big way. It's a fully catalogued product, and I think that's why Amazon chose it at the very beginning. So yeah, I think in the adoption rate of online sales in the book space is going to be one of the highest in the physical e-commerce space. Whether that changes, I don't know. We'll see as digital products come out. Something worked, we kept doing it, and when something didn't work, we stopped doing it and tried something else. And you know, we've just followed different paths. Some stuff has worked, and we've kept it up, and it's been beneficial to the business. And when it hasn't, we've just tried to discontinue it and continue tapping left and right to try different things. You know, we come up with a lot of different ideas. We apply some of them, some work, some don't. And just, I guess, that very experimental type of approach to things. A lot of trial and error. We've just tried a lot. We certainly aren't where we wanted to be, but we feel now that we are landing product from overseas and getting it into customers' hands faster than most of our overseas competitors. We feel that our local distribution is faster than most of our overseas competitors and local competitors, and getting those timings down in terms of transit times down is a huge push for us. We really want to be known in the marketplace as a place where if we promise something, we are delivering on it, if not better. And we think that we certainly have gone a long way, but we have a lot more to go. And yeah, like I said, just trial and error. We've tried all sorts of different things. Some worked, some haven't, and it's just a case of rigorously addressing all of that, making sure that when something doesn't work, that we discard it straight away. So we've had a proprietary approach to our technology since day one. We utilise third-party software as and when we need it, or we feel it does a better job than what we've got, but we've been iteratively building on our existing system since 2003. In this space, things change so rapidly that sometimes it's there and you see an opportunity, you need to go after it, and with that, having in-house flexibility to be able to do that is great. Other times, someone's already done it, and you know, you can just get on it and take it, and then sometimes you outgrow that and you go into something else, and you come back when they've redeveloped something more interesting, and it's a very interesting space in that regard. And that's part of the fun, I think, of e-commerce, is just things keep changing at such a rate. They're going to become a big part of the business, one way or the other. We've had an e-book store waiting to go. We've just been waiting for the right time for it. The biggest challenge we've seen in Australia is that there aren't that many readers in the market. Kindle, there are a few. There are a few iPads. Well, the iPad's obviously taken off in a big way, but with the absence of the readers, there's not much in the way that we can do for supply. So we've just been waiting, and I think the time's almost right. We're going to launch an e-book store and start getting our feet wet in that space. We haven't seen a huge uptake yet in customers purchasing off the mobile yet. In Australia, I don't know whether that will start to change in the next couple of years. I guess we will provision more of that. We aren't doing enough in that space at the moment. We've got a few projects which hopefully will be launched in the start of next year. And if there is the consumer will and want for that, then we will fulfill that. I mean, all the indications are that mobile is going to be the way that people interact with us, so we're going to have to gear up for that, but as and when that occurs, I don't know. We are keeping a close eye on the move into digital, certainly for the books. We certainly think that there's been an awakening in the last couple of years here in Australia as far as both public and business perception of where online's fitting in. I think there's a realization that online is serious, it's not going away, and it's not just Amazon that's doing it. So we're keeping an eye on how that is, whether foreign entrants are coming into the market, how that's going to affect things, how the domestic players, what they're doing. There's a lot of change going on. From our point of view, we think we've got the mix to some extent right, where we're able to put forward an offering, deliver on those expectations, exceed them, and have customers return to us. And we think that's just, however we mix it, that's just got to keep going. The reality is that Australia is part of the global market. More and more international online retailers who are world class are starting to view us as a market. We extend beyond the 50 states. There happen to be other countries out there. Australia's often at the top of the list. The level of service and offering that's coming out of some of these companies is phenomenal, and I think the barriers to entry are going to start rising up as those companies start to participate in this market. And for any Australian retailer or online retailer that wants to participate, you either get world class, you either start implementing best practice and start provisioning something that is as good, if not better, than your overseas competitors are going to do, or you risk getting swamped. I think that's been going on for a while, but I think more and more now across a much wider range of categories and verticals, we're going to start to see that. And geographic distance is no longer going to be an impediment. I guess Amazon, you mentioned earlier, Jeff Bezos has done a phenomenal job and has set the standard for all of us to follow. So in terms of companies that we would hope to emulate or one day beat, I mean, they've got to be number one. There are a lot of other companies that have done great jobs in different niches. Zappos was a great one, obviously being bought out by Amazon. It was testimony to how good a job they'd done in a totally vastly different approach to the way that Amazon had done business. Much more high touch rather than low touch, customer service from start to finish. In the local space, the guys at Deals Direct have done a great job, and also have set the standard to a large extent. Catch the day as well, and there are a lot of other international companies, both out of the US and UK especially. We sort of do look at for best practice and ideas as to what we can use in this market here. One lesson over and over that I get taught, and I don't always learn it, but it keeps coming back, is that in this industry things change. They just change. Everything changes all the time. And I think cementing that in my mind and just realizing that today's reality is not necessarily going to be tomorrow's is something that we've tried to inculcate into our way of thinking, but it's not always getting there. So just the speed to do things and just get stuff done and quickly move quickly and try and find the next thing that's going to come along. But I think in Australia, one of the advantages we've got, given the fact that we're not in the main markets, is that you do get to see these sort of trends emerge, and they emerge earlier in the larger markets like the US and the UK before they do come here. So whilst we are part of the global market, these trends that start to come out, you get some heads up on it. It's not going to happen to you overnight. Things do come out of Australia, but they come out at a larger pace because of the nature of those markets. And so I guess keeping abreast of what's happening, just that it doesn't mean that you have to rewrite your entire business plan every time something new comes out. Groupon comes out, doesn't mean we all need to be doing social deals or those kind of collective deals. But what it does mean is you've got to have an awareness of that. And I think just staying aware of what's going on at a global level and then applying what you think is most appropriate to your market or your business is the best way to achieve that.